Welcome back to the Charismatic Voice. Today's video contains explicit images and content because the song is about gun violence and suicide. Music is one of the ways that we experience and release our emotions, so I think it's important for music to encompass such difficult subjects like this. But if you are in any way concerned that this might trigger a traumatic memory, please don't hesitate to click away. Otherwise, let's get to it.
And the news media plus a lot more.
It is very relevant in America today.
Whoa. Eddie Vedder's voice is incredible. For me, it's just one of those voices that contains so much emotion with every single sound that it creates. It is the perfect voice to really dive into this subject. I am amazed by the way he elongates vowels. I've always been told when you're singing a vowel for a long time that you need to think about reiterating that vowel. But he doesn't just reiterate the vowel, he's reiterating the emotion as he goes through it. It's so powerful and intense when he just holds a note. I want to go back to the beginning. He does a lot of really fantastic things here with his voice. It's really there are times when it's fast, times when it's slow. There's a lot of agility in it, but then all of a sudden it will become much longer. Start right about here. I want to talk a little bit about this story this is based on, just in case you're not familiar with it. I read this story before, so this hits really hard. So Eddie Vedder read about Jeremy's story in the newspapers based on a true story of a boy named Jeremy, 15 years old, sophomore, and he shot himself in front of his English class. And so the lyrics sound like it sounds at times like it's coming from the point of view of one of the classmates of Jeremy, and every now and then it also sounds like you might be getting some perspective from Jeremy as well. You definitely get the idea from Eddie Vedder's voice that there's so much emotion and depression that is struggled, and conflicting emotions also from that classmate. So when you hear Jeremy spoke in class today, it's referring to that moment when the classmate saw Jeremy take his life. Oof. This is a pretty incredible song.
Top, lemon yellow sun, arms raised in a beam.
that moment when he holds out arms, that's the exact moment that I was talking about, where it sounds like he's not just reiterating the vowel, but he's reiterating the emotion. I love that.
Of mountain tops with him on top, lemon yellow sun, arms raised in a beam, and the dead lay in pools of maroon below. And Daddy didn't give attention, oh, to the fact that Mommy didn't care. King Jeremy the wicked overruled his world. Jeremy spoken clear as the day. Jeremy spoken clear as the day. Clearly I remember picking on the boy, seemed a harmless little fuck. But we unleashed the lion, gnashed his teeth and bit the recessed lady's breast. How could I forget?
Wow. This feels like an onslaught of emotions, which is totally accurate. Um, I'm shocked by how well Eddie Vedder is capturing the reminiscent that happens after, or reminiscing that happens after an event like this. And even in his face in this music video, which, by the way, I chose for a very specific reason to do the music video. But his face and his acting in it are incredible. And you hear like he's almost singing through his teeth sometimes, that he's allowing jaw tension to specifically creep into the sound, because when people are that full of emotion, it's often expressed in all kinds of tension in different areas of the body and essentially trying to hold it together. And you see his Eddie Vedder's character or persona essentially of it in this music video is clearly trying to hold things together while he's working through these emotions. I'm amazed by how he's expressing that with his voice. I specifically chose to do this music video because it was pretty land-breaking at the time. I think it won 4 different music video awards in 1993. Just so much respect to them for actually addressing this subject in such a pertinent and relatable way. Okay, let's go back a little bit. I want to go back a little more. Just look at the way that he's holding that tension in his face and listen to how that's affecting his sound.
Picking on the boy, seemed a harmless little fuck. But we unleashed the lion, gnashed his teeth and bit the recessed lady's breast. How could I forget? And he hit me with the surprise left. My jaw left hurting, dropped wide open, just like the day, oh, like the day I heard.
One of the things that's incredible about Eddie's voice is that he has such a beautiful, clean, cutting, focused sound that he's able to produce. And at the same time, he can produce an incredibly powerful and gritty sound in that top register, essentially adding some distortion on it. He's absolutely adding distortion the right way. No doubt about it, because of the way he flips back and forth between those two without any sort of damage whatsoever. You really hear that when he talked about the hook on the left. He had a lot more distortion there. I think he was using that as a way to bring in more anger into the situation, maybe even more violence into the situation. And then later it sounded more remorseful, and that's when he was keeping a cleaner tone. I'm going to go back to that as well.
And he hit me with the surprise
Right there. Lots more distortion.
Dropped wide open, just like the day, oh, like the day I heard.
to go back just a little bit. Listen to the way he contains more emotion at times when he's essentially sliding off of the end of a word. So no is a good spot where he slides just a little bit off of the end of that, almost like it's a little yell out. And boy, he does the same thing. He even has a little vibrato in there. Vibrato often is associated with more tenderness. Also, when you get really nervous, you tend to have more vibrato or a little tremor in the voice. Anytime you're feeling overwhelmed with emotion, you will likely have more tremors in your voice. So I don't think that Eddie manufactures that. I don't think he thinks, oh, I'm going to have a tremor in my voice to sound more emotional. I think that he actually is more emotional. He's calling to an emotional spot and taking it from inside out rather than outside in, because it's just so naturally weaved into everything he does. And the boy was something that mommy wouldn't wear. Came down on me, the wicked. Oh, ruled his world. Jeremy spoken yesterday. Jeremy spoken yesterday. Oh man, I hate bullying so much. I think it's really notable the way that they've constructed the melody in the song. Jeremy spoke in class today. It is much more subdued, as if it's almost hard to feel more in that. It's almost like it dulled the emotions there, whereas a lot of other things are explosive in the song. As far as the line moving around a bunch, Jeremy spoke in class today is repeated over and over and over because the person just doesn't know how to deal with it. And then it's also repeated on the same pitches as well. And they're elongated too. So it's the words tend to be longer and lingering. Whereas in the verses that we've been hearing, they're going by really fast. It's more like flashes of memories that go by, and what could I have done? What could I have done in this situation, this situation, this situation? Remembering all the things that happened, and then coming back to that sort of dreadful, repeat, awful moment that keeps going by in the person's head. This is stunning insight into how to apply some awful experience in psychology to musical melody writing. I'm very, very insightful of Pearl Jam and Eddie Vedder for how they've composed this. Whoa! That was the way he went more gritty as he went up in this slide. Whoa. Oh, that does something to my stomach. Wow. I feel like the emotion that he brings in, try to forget this and try to erase this, is, I feel at a loss for words for how much that hits, for how human it sounds. It's still singing, but it like transcends singing in that moment when he's singing Try, right? He's part yelling at the distortion on it too. It's so expressive and so right on. I'm gonna go back to that again. I think that was earlier. There we go. Whoa, that was a very strong image. I'm not sure what that was there. I wasn't following well enough to understand. Hopefully this was I imagine there must be a deeper message that's underneath that I was totally missing. Anyhow, whoa reaction for that one. Just a quick shout out for anybody that is going through these really troubled times. There are resources if it's you or if it's somebody you know. We're going to put a card in this video at this point for the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. I know from experience that there are good people there that can help you through tough times. So there's a card here. Click on it if you need it or if somebody else needs it. It's there for whenever it's needed. Okay, gonna keep going. And these woes, Eddie Vedder's emotion is coming through even more. Sometimes you can't express it with words anymore, even lyrics, and you just need to let out a sound. And that comes usually in the form of a vowel, right? Where you just create a sustained sound for a while. And that sounds to me like what he's doing here, just woeing. It's like a moan, just an unleashing of emotion. It's really incredible. I know that Eddie Vedder particularly relates to Jeremy's story. He had some difficult times, and when he was accepting the trophy for the video of the year, he said, "If it weren't for music, I think I would have shot myself in front of the classroom. It really is what kept me alive, so this is kind of full circle. So to the power of music, thanks." It's just super beautiful. Okay, I'm going to go back to that part. Listen to his emotion in the O's. Uh, I don't know about you, but that's the kind of image that really sticks with a person. For me, I'll go back a little bit and finish out the song, but that hits hard. Hits really, really hard. And um, kudos to them for creating a music video um, that has this kind of emotional pull to bringing more awareness to suicide and gun violence. I have so much respect and hope that message will be heard more and more. So hopefully people can get the help that they need. And I also think that the breakdown in the music at this point is very keen. It feels like it's sort of again, it's gotten past words. It's just emotions, and they're swirling more and more. It feels like it's almost like disintegrating into just a crazy, tormented loophole. Wow, very, very strong imagery. This is an incredible music video. The ending of this video was hard. I had to take a few extra moments and just gather my own emotions so I could deliver an outro. I am so impressed by both the video composition and the music composition. They told an incredibly difficult story, and Eddie Vedder really delivered the emotion. I'm impressed by the way that he's able to get into that psyche and sound like something's tearing from the inside of him. I still think he does it in a very vocally healthy way. I have so much awe for his ability to communicate that story and emotion. If you would like to see some other Eddie Vedder videos or grunge videos in general, there's a playlist over here. And I hope I'll see you in another video again soon. Thanks.